Hey there, Mark with Body Outfitters, taking you through 5 basic foam rolling techniques. Easy to do at home. We're gonna hit all major muscle groups. So this is really kind of foam rolling 101, okay? As we go through this, number one, I always like to take an assessment and get stable on your roller, whether you have a roller that's this wide or a big one. I like both, it just depends what you need. So number one, just get set up on your roller with your sits bones on this side or your feet side of it so you can get stable. That way you know you're not gonna be putting too much weight on your fingertips or wrists, but that's where we're going next. So a little bit of a lean back. Feel free to take your feet, make them in a stable position, and we're gonna roll from sit bones, but not over them, and then almost to the belter where you feel you kind of run out of muscles up there because everybody has that spot. You're just gonna do a basic roll through, and this is kind of an assessment. If you start to feel hot spots, something that feels like, oh, already, then this is where you need to live until you get that fixed out. So all of these rolls are if this, then that. So if this is already really sore, then this is where you live, okay? After about 10 rolls, you'll know whether you need to live here or not, and then it's time to move on to your kind of level 2 glute roll, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knees and my hand, I'm literally gonna pivot a little bit so I'm on kind of one glute or one cheek a little bit more, and then do the same thing. Roll to the top of the back pocket and almost to the sit bones. And you kind of go, okay, am I feeling anything here? These first few rolls are just an assessment. And feel free to open toward the ceiling if you don't feel anything, or if you don't feel anything, kind of start to lean a little bit over. Take your time slow, and as soon as if you find something over there that feels tender or kind of makes you jump, that's where you need to just stop. Just hang out. Put some pressure on it. You can do a couple little rolls on it, you can do a couple little knee wiggles, but sit there and literally think like somebody is working on that move or working on that knot or that hot spot there. And you might have found where you need to spend your time. So if this is where you feel your time, let's spend a little bit of your time here. You can roll into that higher hip, or technically that lower inside hip, and then roll through. I always feel a hot spot up near my back pocket when I turn over this way. It's just an area I carry a little more tension, and I can sit there and work on that for a while. There's not really a rule on how long you should roll it, but let's go ahead and shift over to the other side. Same thing, we're gonna start at our base, turn slightly, position our palms so you're supported, and then we're gonna just gently roll through. I made one distance, second distance. I don't feel a whole lot, I feel a little bit of something. I'm gonna roll through and hunt and just slowly lean over and see if I find anything. If you cruise through both sides and you don't feel anything, just move on. Roll through, I found something right there, I'm gonna sit on it. Let's talk about intensity, okay? One of the things, if you can't keep your face calm, if you can't relax in this, you're probably putting too much pressure on it and you need to back off and open up away from it a little bit. Because if you're on that thing and you're wincing and you're tense, it's really hard to relax and actually get the tension worked out of that area. But make a note of it. If you cruise over it, it's gonna be less intense. If you sit on it or kind of wiggle and grind on it, it's gonna be a little more intense. Okay, so that's the back side of the body. Those are my first 2. Now let's talk about quads. I'm gonna reorient, but you can just turn over, okay? Most of you have done a plank from your elbows and your toes. We're essentially gonna plank over this roller and put it mid-thighs, okay? Now, if I don't hold a little bit of tension in my abs, not a crazy tucking tension, but a little bit, I feel my low back a little bit on this. I'm gonna put it mid-quads, and I'm gonna roll from the top to the top of my knees, and then to the bottom of my front pockets. And roll through, keeping my toes together, and kind of work through that main line. Again, this is if this, then that. If this hurts a lot, then find that spot and sit on it. If not, hunt and go a little slower and see if you find something, but this might not be the place you need to hang out. Do at least 10 laps though, just kind of relax, let your legs settle, but keep your toes together. Great, if you don't feel a whole lot through there, then we're gonna go to that next level, okay? And this is a little more complicated. Again, feel free to hang out here if you need to. I'm going to now get my body over my roller, and I'm gonna put my mid-quad, side quad on my roller. Notice I have my foot on the ground because I wanna control my temperature, get both palms on the ground. So I have foot, palm, palm, so I can control the temp. I'm kind of rolling through this quad, and I'm rolling through that from the front of, from the inside of my pocket to my knee. I'm gonna roll through that line, only putting the pressure on it that feels productive. If this feels really easy, then I'll start to pick up and put more pressure on there. You can even rest that shin over there and roll through that line of your quad from almost to the knee pocket. Now everybody's gonna feel this to some level. It's just a really sensitive spot. Again, if you can't see what I'm doing, I'm rolling through, not the top like we did, rolling through on that using a portion of my body weight. So if I swing over and hit the other side, I'm gonna position that mid-thigh a little turned away, put my foot on the ground, my hands on the ground, even my back foot on the ground, and roll through. This is that level 1, moving through that tissue. If this is not much for you, then pick that back foot up. You can even go as far as picking up everything and just kind of putting your weight on your palms and really grinding through that quad and that lateral line. Roll through. If you feel something hot, boom, pause on it. These are all great exercises too to reapply. If you want to switch back over or go back to glutes, do a glute side and then a front side, boom, 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 flip back and forth. Now let's get into upper body. Number 1, I love a mid-back roll, okay? So now we're gonna put this on the ground and put it just so right at our belt, but then also roll it up and put it just underneath your shoulder blades and catch it, okay? Get your feet nice and stable. And then if you already feel some tension, then just sit here and chill. You can support your head too. You don't have to make your neck work too hard on this. And just open. Okay, once you settle into it, we're gonna do almost like you're doing a crunch. You're gonna open a little bit and then crunch forward, but we're not gonna crunch forward. Just gonna open, letting that thing roll and expand our rib cage and some of our thoracic muscles here by pushing that. Man, watch this one. The temperature on this one, or the intensity of this, can go up really, really fast. That's why we're easing into it. Get jumpy. If it's really easy, then grab that roller by the elbows and just shift it down. But again, the temperature jumps really fast on this. Ease through. Yeah, after a few rounds of working that in there, now we're ready to roll. So in this position, if you're already feeling a lot, I'm gonna raise my hips slightly off the ground, push my palms up like I'm reaching, and just roll from my posture muscles to the bottom of my shoulder blades, just smashing through there, looking for hot spots. If you need to support your head, go ahead and do that, but a punch forward really exposes those mid-back muscles to the pressure. Good, breaking that tissue up. You can turn slightly to the side if you need a little more intensity, and also roll closer to the back, but careful to kind of smash through the rib cage. There's a lot of great tissue back there that can open up, expand you. Now let's talk about posture muscles. That's the backside of your posture. Let's make sure we have enough space on the front. This could be a tricky one. You might actually just start on the ground with this one. I'm gonna lay all the way down, resting my feet, resting my head, keeping my core just neutral, and then just go into a soft Y. So if this is an I with straight arms, I'm gonna go to a soft Y and roll and reach, and just kind of reach and settle. I'm not gonna try to slam my back down yet, just let my arms chill. If that feels like nothing, then you can start to close your back. So I'm gonna come back up, go into that Y shape, and expand into that Y shape with my back closed. Okay, if that's nothing, my roller likes me, keeps coming over here. I'm gonna close my back and then go out to more of a T shape, okay? You might kind of go like this and figure out, where do I feel some stretch? If you feel nothing with your back closed and those, it's time to get the roller involved. So we're gonna bring this guy back in play. I think rolled over my remote, so I'm gonna make sure that my time's still on. It is, good. Whoops, roller found me. Now, ease into this one. I'm gonna sit down on the roller, right on the end, and it can pop a wheelie, so be careful. Get stable, get right to the end of it, and start to position your body on the roller safely. I'm gonna stay nice and stable, keeping 4 points of contact on the ground, and just chill. Get settled in this position. Might already start feeling a stretch on this one. Now once you get stable, I'm gonna bring your hands off the ground and do that same drill. We're gonna go into that Y shape. You start to feel your shoulder blade muscles kind of smash. You can rock back and forth if you feel sticks. Come back to base. Take them out to the side. I don't feel quite as much stretch there for me, but that might be your line. It's also normal to start to feel your nose get stuffy when you get down here too long. And I'm gonna go into that I or T shape, because that's where I'm gonna feel my stretch here. Closing my back against the roller and just spend some time opening up. And again, relaxing through it, not trying to force it, just chill. It takes some time. Take some big breaths once you're in a stable position and see if you can't expand your rib cage a couple times. This is an awesome way to wrap up your workout, take care of your body, and make it so that you're not quite as stiff and maybe not quite as sore from your workout. But even if it's not a workout day or it's just a cardio day, it's a really good drill, really good exercise to get used to doing. Hope that helps. Stay loose, and I can't wait to spend some more time with you again soon.